There's a device that I've been using called a Whoop.
Hello, and welcome back to IGOW3. Field correspondent Dan here, reporting on location in the RailPro warehouse to introduce weekly challenge number 5, the Wooptopia Ladder Mini UTT. UTT stands for Universal Time Trial. As you can see, you will basically need 4 IGOW Approved Gates, a start-finish gate, and then a ladder of 3 stacked gates. This is going to be the first 50-50 week, so at least 50% of the remaining players are going to receive a letter this week. And if you have a tiny Whoop cube, remember, it's super handy because you can also unfold it into its own ladder. Now let's head back to Dan and Liz in the studio to break down this week's challenge.
Thanks, field correspondent Dan. I'm excited for this challenge because I learned how to fly racing. The second or third time I'd ever flown a drone was at one of our local FPV races. And now I'm the president of our local FPV club, FPV Racing Seattle.
I'm personally really happy that you've taken over our local club and are motivated to rejuvenate the Whoop racing scene here in Seattle. As many of you know, it's really hard to find quality race organizers. It takes a ton of time and effort, and there's no pay or rewards besides the love of the hobby. So it creates a difficult barrier for entry for new organizers. Luckily, there's already a handful of amazing race organizers around the US and the world that lead by example.
My favorite race organizer is Anthony Knight, also known as AK, which is a perfect transition to this week's featured sponsor, Wooptopia. Wooptopia was the very first big race that I had gone to. I really enjoyed seeing how much fun you can have at a race, even if there are 64 pilots, as long as it's put on by expert organizers, such as AK and the AZ team. Now, Wooptopia is the one race that I look forward to every single year, and which I plan on doing a Seattle race modeled after.
That's right, Wooptopia is definitely the most anticipated Whoop event of every season. When AK announced the event this year, I had 2 people contact me that day to reserve their spot at the Whoop House, and we've already almost filled up the entire place. So if you can only travel to one Whoop event each season, I absolutely recommend Wooptopia. AK and his team are the best at what they do, and Wooptopia 2022 will be the 4th Wooptopia, and it only gets better every season. Everyone involved works together to produce the best event and race environment, and I'm super happy to announce that both Liz and I have been asked to announce the event this year alongside Jesse P. If you're interested in attending Wooptopia 2022, then I highly recommend that you grab your ticket as soon as they go on sale at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time on August 15th. There's going to be less than 64 tickets available, and I predict that they're going to sell out in less than 48 hours. So grab yours as soon as possible.
I agree. Tickets will not last long because AK and his team set a new standard for how our sport should be ran every single time they host a race. The fastest pilot this week will win the first official ticket to Wooptopia 2022, and a second pilot chosen at random will get a $15 discount to their Wooptopia ticket. In addition to our fastest pilot prize this week, we also have the Tweet FPV Bubble Prize. Every time that we hold a 50-50 competition, we will be giving away a set of grips. The Bubble Prize goes to the first pilot in the bottom 50%. Although you might still be getting a letter, at least you're going to get yourself a pair of grips.
We also have other awesome prizes, including a Bind and Fly drone from John Coopy and the new Nano VTXs from Happy Model, which run OpenVTX, a new open source protocol developed by one of the creators of Express LRS. Check the players and prizes list for more info. Link in the description below. This week is the first 50-50 week of IGOW3, which means that at least 50% of the remaining players will receive a letter. And you're all going to be ranked based on your times in the UTT. So that's 50% of everyone remaining in the game, not 50% of the people that submit a video this week.
I think that we're going to receive a lot of submissions this week, so make sure that you're flying as fast as you can so that you can avoid a letter. Now, on to the requirements for weekly challenge number 5, the Wooptopia Ladder Mini UTT. Requirement number 0 is that your video must be no more than 60 seconds and you must follow all the IGOW3 posting rules.
Requirement number 1 is that you set up the track correctly. You're going to need a total of 4 IGOW Approved Gates, and an IGOW Approved Gate is any gate that would fit inside a square with a maximum side of 28 inches. With those 4 gates, you'll make one start-finish gate, and then the other 3 gates will be stacked up to form a TGS, or a triple gate stack, where the 3 gates are stacked on top of one another, and those 2 elements will be set 5 feet apart from one another.
Requirement number 2, you must run the track correctly. A video showing you what is correct is about to play.
Okay.
You must make sure that you are passing through your gates and going into your planes in the correct order. Dan will be building a track in Velocidrone so that you can practice. And unlike in Velocidrone, you will not be capable of going backwards through any of your gates. That will disqualify your run.
Requirement number 3 is don't cheat. You're not allowed to speed up your footage in any way. Obviously, speeding up your footage would make it seem like you're going faster, and that's not allowed. So, if you have the issue where your footage seems to be sped up every time because it's like 24 frames to 30 frames, just make sure you have an OSD timer on the screen, and then we'll be able to tell what your flight time is. If you don't have an OSD timer, that's not absolutely required, but try to add a timer to your video or record with like a GoPro or your phone on an outside view so that we can have something that you can add a timer to. If for some reason you do try to cheat and you are caught, which you probably will be since the other IGOW participants have a pretty keen eye, then you will get an automatic whoop out. That means no matter how many letters you have, you will automatically be eliminated from the game. So just don't cheat. You might be thinking to yourself, I can't speed up my footage and I only have a 60-second video limit, so do I only have 60 seconds to complete the track? No, we're not going to be that strict this week. If it takes you longer than 60 seconds to complete the course, then just submit your whole video, which will be longer than 60 seconds. Even if it takes you like the whole 3 minutes of your entire battery pack just to get through the course, then still submit that video. But do not speed up your video for any reason. Just always submit a real-time video.
I will be hosting a group fly in Velocidrone so that everybody can practice the UTT Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, I really expect to see a bunch of fast videos this week because I know we have a lot of racers participating in IGOW Season 3. Good luck and happy whooping!
Oh, no, no, no.